do young women get to the top? What can we do? What are some of the specific things they can do? One is, I believe, and I agree with Dr. Chi, the environment matters. And so organizations do have a role and a responsibility for creating an enabling environment. And when we talk specifically about millennials, you mentioned earlier that the things that they are interested in are things that will give them autonomy, things that give them the opportunity for mastery, and things that give them the opportunity to fulfill purpose. And so it's important that flexibility is one of those things. So in order for me to be autonomous, to deliver on a particular task, I need to be given the freedom to decide when is the best time for me to deliver on that task. And when organizations get to the point where they understand that, you'll be able to extract maximum value from your employees. I've had the opportunity of working in an environment that understood that, and so I'm speaking from experience. And that company had me, you know, how do they say, lock, stock, and barrel? They had me. Anytime you woke me up, I would call their name. Why? Because I was always available to do what was important, because they had given me the flexibility to do it within my own time. Such that when I was ready to relocate, they said to me, where are you going? We can hire you as long as there is internet there. We're happy to keep you. So it's important that organizations do that. They do have a role to play. But for the young woman who's saying, how do I get up there, right? We have examples, thankfully, that of women who are in the executive, at the executive level. And there's some key things that you also can do to get there. One is competence. Nobody wants to hire somebody who does not have the competence to deliver. Plain and simple, whether you're a man or a woman. So it's important that you build yourself in terms of capacity, so that when the opportunity comes for you to be selected, you are ready. So that's the first thing that I'll say to you. There's also, when speaking to work ethics, sometimes people just want to concern themselves with the work that they do. So you are a teller. You don't understand what happens after an application gets to your desk. You just want to do your own and move on. The challenge with that is that when an opportunity comes, say, you've done front office role, you've done back office role, and then they're saying, you know, we want somebody at a senior level who has an overview of, who understands credit and also understands back office operations. And you look at this person, you say, well, she spent some time in the branch, but she didn't really expand. She was never team lead. She didn't take on any additional responsibilities. You think you are doing the organization when you say, no, please, I'll just come in, I'll just deliver, you know, the one they've asked me to do. That's not the attitude. But when you adopt an attitude that says, listen, I want to understand, you know, when you guys give me these documents, how exactly are they getting it? Then that person says, oh, well, in my step, the customer fills out the form, we bring it to you to fulfill, and then when you are done, you take it to the next level. That's understanding the value chain of your business. The value that gives you is that you, not only will they count the time that you spent in that position, if you can demonstrate that you are able to expand, that you are able to take on more, that you have a natural inclination for being inquisitive, for asking, for enriching yourself and enlarging your, you know, your mind, then you will come up as an option when the opportunity presents itself. Women also need to be more courageous. A lot of us naturally, and I'll give you, someone made reference to the old boys network. A man sees somebody that he went to nursery school with. Nursery school, I don't know if anybody remembers anybody they went to nursery school with. In fact, they don't even have to remember the guy. They just say, guy, did you not go to this nursery school? And the next thing, they shake hands like old friends. Women, on the other hand, we don't do that. We don't do that. I hope what was the feedback? We don't do that. I went for an event. I sat beside a lady and we talked at length, you know. We came away from that experience. A few months later, I needed to put on a program at the bank, and I thought to myself, this lady, I sat beside her, some may know her, she owns Health Plus. And I sat beside her, but now we're doing Health Week, and it would have been nice for me to reach out to her to see if she would allow some of her people come and set up a stand in the bank, you know. So when I thought about how to send this SMS, I said, dear so-and-so, my name is Ruby. We met at so-and-so. I was the lady in the yellow shirt, sitting to your left. Then I deleted. I said, dear so-and-so, my name is Ruby. And I said to myself, Ruby, can you just send this SMS? And eventually, it ended up being like 2-3 pages because I felt like I needed to explain who I was, how, she knew me and all of that, which men bridge within a twinkle of an eye. And you know what surprised me? As soon as I hit send, this lady responded, Ruby, I know you. Not a problem, done. That's women connecting. That's women being bold. That's women reaching down and helping each other up. And that's what it takes to make the difference. So young women out there, do not be, dismayed. Do not be worried. The truth of the matter is that there are women who have been successful in banking. Some of them are sitting in front of you right now. Please be bold, reach out. Okay? Mentoring helps. Sharing stories helps. Sharing experiences help. Why? So that the mistakes I have made, you don't have to make them. So reach out. A lot of times, like I'm sitting here now, I may not come and ask you, oh, do you want me to mentor you? Oh, do you want me to mentor you? It doesn't quite work that way. But if you see somebody that you aspire to be like, reach out and say, you know what, I know you're busy, but if you can just give me your email address, I could just send, an email, ask a question. And like I said earlier, technology, beautiful. It doesn't even have to be email. Nobody goes to check email anymore. But you pop me a message on LinkedIn, on Facebook Messenger, you send something on Instagram, you will get a response. You will get a response. So that's just to encourage the young millennial women who are sitting in the room. There is a lot of room at the top. I just think that we need to be a bit more courageous. I think that we need to skill up ourselves and be competent. And organizations, banks need to provide an enabling environment for us to thrive. Maternity leave is real. Raising families is real. We need an environment that encompasses or accommodates, I loved the word you used earlier, that accommodates those realities so that organizations don't miss out on the best that women have to offer.
How does networking come in and coaching to encourage, particularly the younger ones, to integrate and become game changers even in the financial services, for example?
So when women share their stories, when they share experiences, what that does for others hearing it is that it gives them a bit of courage, and then it helps them to realize that they're not alone. What they're experiencing, others have experienced as well. And you learn from that. You can take it and you can apply it. So coaching and mentoring has a very big role to play in bridging the gap between generations. So when you have older, more experienced workers who've been in the workforce for a longer time, the value that they can add to building human capacity is by sharing those experiences, sharing those stories, and giving those who are up and coming a platform that they can also thrive and be successful in their careers.
Finally, the structure of our country, do you think there are things that need to be reformed to improve the working culture environment for women, whether the younger ones to improve?
Well, it starts, it's organization by organization, right? So we talked about that earlier. The responsibility is that of the organization to ensure that they create an enabling environment, and this transcends gender. So whether it's for men or women, because there was a time when women were granted maternity leave and men weren't granted paternity leave, and yet they're the fathers of the children, same children. So it's important that organizations think about how to provide an environment that's most conducive for all of their employees, both men and women, and that they give them the tools, they equip them with the tools that they need to succeed on their jobs. It's not necessarily a government role, I don't think, but the government does have a part to play by ensuring that they have policies that are conducive so that organizations are able to create those environments within them.